The alien nurse Karen was working late in the medical bay of the galactic hospital ship Illustra. Her four thin arms moved quickly over shining panels. She was calm, focused, and proud of her duty. For years, she had treated many strange wounds, burns from plasma weapons, broken shells of insect soldiers, even the slow poison inside reptile blood. She thought she had seen everything. But tonight, something new appeared. On the bed in front of her lay a human soldier. His name was Daniel. He was young by human years, but already wounded in battle. His body was strong but fragile compared to other alien races. Karen had been assigned to him because humans were still rare in the galaxy. Most aliens did not trust them. Many feared them. The scanner above his bed gave a sudden alarm. Red lights flashed. Warning symbols filled the air. Karen's large, black eyes widened. She leaned closer to the screen. "Infection?" she whispered. "But where?" Her gaze moved down to the human's lower body. The scanner showed a strange swelling, a burning inflammation alive with energy, in a place Karen had never studied before. She frowned. Her species, the Valorians, reproduced in glass tanks, not with bodies. She had no knowledge of such human regions. To her it looked like a wound. Or maybe something hidden. The alarms grew louder. The swelling seemed to pulse, beating like a second heart. Karen called to the other nurses. Two insectoid assistants scuttled to her side, clicking their mandibles. "What is wrong with him?" one asked. "I don't know," Karen admitted. Her voice shook. "The scanner reads it as dangerous inflammation. But I have never seen this before." The second nurse hissed in fear. "Is it a parasite? Did the human smuggle a weapon inside his body?" The idea chilled Karen. Humans had a reputation for secrets. Some aliens believed their bodies were full of hidden tricks. She tried to calm herself. "We must not panic. We must study." She turned back to Daniel, his face twisted as if in pain. Sweat ran down his forehead. His breathing grew heavier. "His body is reacting," Karen said quickly. "Prepare containment." The insectoid nurses activated a shield around the bed. A clear wall of blue light rose up, locking Daniel inside. Karen's four fingers danced across the console. She searched the medical database for human anatomy. But the files were blocked. Access denied. The data was marked classified by Earth Command. Why would they hide this? She muttered. What are they afraid of? The swelling pulsed again. The scanner numbers climbed higher. Heat, blood flow, nerve activity, all exploding at once. Karen's heart pounded. She leaned closer to Daniel. His lips moved. At first, only broken sounds came out. Then suddenly his eyes snapped open. For a long moment, Karen froze. The human's blue eyes burned into hers. He whispered one word, a word that made her entire body stiffen. Danger. The room fell silent. Even the insectoid nurses stopped moving. Danger? Karen repeated softly. Danger from what? From you? From this inflammation? Daniel groaned, gripping the edge of the bed with surprising strength. The swelling glowed faintly on the scanner now, almost like it was alive. Karen's mind raced. If this was disease, it was unlike any other. If it was a weapon, then humans had truly hidden something terrifying inside their flesh. Her duty was clear. She should report this to the alien commanders. They would likely order the human destroyed before infection spread. But her heart hesitated. She looked at Daniel's weak, suffering body. His eyes were full of something more than fear. Something like warning. The scanners beeped faster, almost like an alarm counting down. Karen grabbed Daniel's arm. Tell me, what is this? What is happening to you? Daniel's breath came in sharp gasps. His voice was broken, but the words were clear. Enough. You don't understand. If they see this, they will kill me. But it is not what you think. Karen's mind spun. Not what we think. Then what is it? The inflammation swelled again. The bed shook slightly, as if an unseen force was building inside the human. The insectoid nurse backed away in panic. "Nurse Karen, we must evacuate. This human will explode." Karen's hands trembled, but she did not move. Something inside her told her the truth was far greater than infection, far greater than weapon. She looked at Daniel again. His eyes rolled back, but his mouth formed one last whisper before he collapsed unconscious. "It's beginning." The scanner screamed with red warnings. The swelling glowed brighter, beating like a living heart. Karen stood frozen in the glow. Her alien mind, trained in science and logic, could not explain what she saw. All she knew was this: something hidden inside the human body had awakened. Something unknown. Something dangerous. And she was the first alien to witness it. The alarms would not stop. Red lights flashed across the ceiling of the alien medical bay. The steady hum of the ship's engines seemed to vanish under the sharp scream of the scanners. Nurse Karen stood frozen beside the human's bed. Daniel lay unconscious, his body twitching as if something inside him was waking. The strange swelling pulsed on the monitor, glowing brighter with every beat. Her two insectoid assistants panicked. Their sharp legs clattered on the floor as they scuttled backward. "We must seal the chamber," one of them cried. "If the human's body bursts, it will spread toxins through the entire ward," shouted the other. Karen snapped at them, her black eyes hard. "No, do not move him, do not touch him. This is not a normal sickness. I must study more." But her calm voice could not hide the storm inside her. The human's last word still echoed in her mind. "Danger." She stared at Daniel's pale face. His breath came in uneven gasps. The glowing pulse in his lower body spread tiny waves of energy into the air. The blue force field around the bed shivered as if under invisible pressure. The insectoid nurses hissed nervously. "It is breaking. Containment. We must alert security." Karen hesitated. If security came, they would treat Daniel as a weapon, not a patient. She had seen it before. Alien commanders feared what they did not understand. They would end his life to protect their ship, but something inside her resisted. She remembered how Daniel's eyes looked before he collapsed, not cruel, not violent, but filled with warning. He did not want harm. He wanted to protect. Still, her duty was clear. A nurse must keep the ship safe. She touched her comm panel. "Medical bay to Central Command," she began. But before she could send the signal, the power in the room flickered. The lights dimmed. The hum of the machine slowed. Then silence. The ship had lost power. The insectoid nurses screamed in panic. "He has infected the systems." "No!" Karen shouted, though she was no longer sure. "Stay calm." Emergency lights glowed red. Shadows stretched across the room. The only steady light came from Daniel's body, the strange swelling shining brighter now as if it was the heart of the darkness. Karen's skin prickled. She took a slow step closer. The glow pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. One beat. Another, faster now. The scanners, running on backup power, tried to keep up, but the numbers were impossible. No alien body should survive this level of energy. "What are you, human?" Karen whispered. Suddenly Daniel's hand twitched. His fingers curled around the edge of the bed. The glow flared, sending a ripple through the containment shield. The blue barrier bent and cracked with a loud snap. The insectoid nurses shrieked and ran for the door. Karen remained. Her fear battled with her curiosity. She could not leave. She needed to know the truth. The door slid open, and a group of armed guards stormed in. Their silver armor gleamed under the red lights. Plasma rifles pointed directly at the unconscious human. "Step aside, nurse," their leader barked. His voice was sharp and cold. "This creature is unstable. We will remove him before he destroys us all." "No!" Karen shouted, stepping in front of the bed, her thin arms spread wide. "He is not a weapon, he is my patient." The guard sneered. "Look at the readings. Look at the glow. This is not medicine. It is war." Karen's heart thumped painfully. She had no proof to defend Daniel. All she had was a feeling, a strange sense that this human was more than a threat. "He spoke. To me," she said quietly. "He warned me. He said this is not what we think." The guards did not lower their weapons. Then, with a sudden crack, the containment shield shattered completely. A wave of light burst from Daniel's body. The guards staggered backward, blinded. The walls shook. Medical tools clattered to the floor. Karen shielded her eyes. When she looked again, she saw something new, lines of glowing symbols flickering in the air above Daniel's chest. They looked almost like ancient code, but alive, moving, shifting. The guards cursed in fear. "It is transmitting a signal." "Kill it now!" shouted the leader, their rifles charged with a high-pitched whine. Karen's breath caught. She wanted to scream, to stop them, but before she could, Daniel's eyes snapped open again. This time his voice was not weak. It was loud, filled with power echoing through the ward. "Do not touch me." The rifles froze. The guards trembled, their claws and hands shaking. For a moment, the entire room felt heavy, as if an invisible hand pressed down on everyone. Karen stared, wide-eyed. The glow spread across Daniel's body now, not just his lower region. His skin shone with waves of light. Then, silence again. The glow faded slightly, though still alive. Daniel collapsed back into unconsciousness. The guards exchanged nervous looks. None dared fire. Karen placed her hand gently on his arm. Her voice shook, but it was clear. "I will protect him. Whatever this is, I must know the truth." The guards hesitated. Their leader glared, then lowered his weapon slowly. But in his cold eyes, Karen saw the truth. The commanders would never allow this mystery to live for long. Daniel's secret was now a threat to the entire galaxy. The ward was silent now, but the silence was heavy, like a storm waiting to break. The guards stood near the door, their rifles lowered but not forgotten. The insectoid nurses had fled. Only Karen remained at Daniel's side. She stared at him. His body was still glowing faintly, the strange swelling pulsing with quiet rhythm. He looked peaceful, yet dangerous, like a volcano before eruption. Karen's thin hands trembled. She had protected him for the moment, but she knew it could not last. Alien commanders would demand answers. And if the answers looked like a threat, Daniel would not live to see another sunrise. Her eyes shifted to the console. The scanners had recorded everything. The swelling, the glow, the impossible. Readings. She hesitated, then reached for the system files again. Access. Classified. She pressed harder, using her highest medical code. Still blocked. Human anatomy beyond basic levels was restricted by Earth Command. Only military officers could view. Karen's breath quickened. Why hide such knowledge? What were humans protecting? Her instincts screamed at her. Because this is no sickness, this is a secret. She glanced at the guards. They whispered quietly, their eyes never leaving the human. Karen knew she had little time. Quickly, she opened a hidden channel, one reserved for forbidden research. Every alien medic knew the risks. Searching in this channel could mean punishment, exile, even death. But she could not stop herself. The forbidden files appeared, locked with layers of warning. She bypassed them one by one. At last, a simple word appeared. Reproductive system. Karen tilted her head. She whispered it aloud. Productive? Her species did not reproduce through bodies. They grew children in crystal tanks. The word felt alien on her tongue. She opened the file. What she saw made her freeze. Diagrams of human anatomy filled the screen. She saw the swollen region marked with strange names. Penis, testicles. The words meant nothing to her, but the description was clear. This was not disease. This was a natural part of human biology. Her large eyes widened further as she read. Inflammation can occur due to arousal or hormonal surges. Not lethal, not infection, a natural response. A natural response? Karen's hearts hammered in her chest. She looked back at Daniel, glowing and trembling on the bed. Could this dangerous flare of energy be something normal for humans? But the file also held something darker. Hidden between the words was a warning stamped with Earth Command seal. Do not share this data with alien species. Human reproduction holds secrets critical to survival. Unauthorized access punishable by death. Karen gasped. Now she understood. Humans were hiding this because their biology carried more than reproduction. It carried power. Power that aliens might fear, or desire to control. She leaned closer to Daniel, whispering, "What are you hiding from us? What power lies inside you?" His eyes fluttered open, weak but aware. He saw her, and for the first time he did not look afraid. "You found it," he said softly, his voice cracked. "You broke into the files." Karen flinched. "How do you know?" He gave a faint smile. "Because you had to. You are too curious to stop." Her cheeks darkened in alien shame. "Then it is true? This is not disease?" Daniel shook his head. "No, it is not sickness. It is something else. Something humans keep secret." Karen leaned closer. "Why hide it? Why make aliens believe you are dangerous?" Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Because if they knew the truth, they would use us. They would never see us as equals again." The guards stirred uneasily, glancing at the glowing human. Karen's voice shook. "What truth?" Daniel's lips parted, his whisper low, urgent. "This swelling, it is not just for reproduction, it is a signal. Our bodies, they hold energy, connection. It grows in moments of desire, fear, or love. It can spread. It can touch other minds." Karen shivered. She thought of the wave of light, the way every alien in the ward had felt heavy when he spoke. Not weapon, not disease. Something deeper. "You mean," she whispered, "this power is part of being human?" Daniel's eyes closed again, his breath weakening. "Yes, but if they discover it, they will destroy us. They will never allow humans to live free. Promise me, nurse, promise me you will keep the secret." Karen's throat tightened. She looked at the guards. They were watching but not listening closely. She looked back at Daniel. She wanted to promise, but she also knew the truth. Once the commanders learned even a fragment of this, nothing would stop them from tearing his body apart to study it. Before she could answer, the door opened. An alien doctor entered, tall and robed in silver. His voice was cold, powerful. "Step aside, Nurse Karen. The human will be transferred. His body must be studied by order of the council." Karen's heart froze. She had only moments to decide. Obey her duty, or protect the forbidden secret. Her 4 hands curled into fists. She looked at Daniel's fragile body glowing faintly on the bed, and for the first time, she realized her life was no longer her own. She had stumbled into a secret that could change the galaxy forever. The silver-robed alien doctor stepped into the ward, his tall frame casting a long shadow across the floor. His 4 eyes glowed cold blue, fixed on Daniel's glowing body. Guards raised their rifles again, waiting for his command. Nurse Karen felt her heart's race. She moved in front of the bed, blocking their view. "No," she said firmly. "He is my patient." The doctor's voice was sharp, echoing through the chamber. "Step aside, nurse. What lies inside this human is not medicine. It is danger. The council demands his transfer for immediate dissection." The word burned Karen's ears. Dissection. Her hands clenched tight. Daniel was not a disease to cut open. He was alive, breathing, whispering truths only she had heard. Still, she stood alone. The doctor gestured toward Daniel. "Look around you. Power outages. Broken systems. This human's body disrupted our ship. Already, he has shown he is more weapon than life." The guards nodded grimly. Their claws tapped nervously against their rifles. The fear was thick in the room. Karen shook her head. "It is not sickness. It is not weapon. It is natural for humans. Her words made the doctor's eyes narrow. How do you know this? She froze. Should she admit she had opened the forbidden files? If she confessed, she would be punished. But if she stayed silent, Daniel would die. Before she could speak, Daniel stirred. His weak voice broke the silence. She knows. Because she wanted to understand, not to kill. The guard stepped back in shock. He was awake again, glowing faintly, his eyes filled with strange strength. The doctor hissed, "Do not listen to it. See how it manipulates even the weak-minded nurse? Already it spreads infection of thought." Infection of thought. The words rippled through the guards, feeding their fear. Karen's chest tightened. She realized the truth. It was not just Daniel's body the aliens feared. It was his ability to change their minds. The swelling pulsed again and the faint glow spread through his veins, lighting his skin like rivers of fire. The guards trembled. One of them whispered, "This is not flesh. This is sorcery." Daniel's voice grew stronger. "It is not sorcery, it is human. This is what we are." The air grew heavier, pressing against every alien in the room. Karen's breath shook. She felt something inside her mind, an echo, a warmth, like a distant memory, not her own, a battlefield, human soldiers screaming but standing tall, a child laughing under Earth's blue sky, courage, love, defiance. The guards staggered as if struck. They clutched their heads, hissing. "Do you see?" the doctor cried. "It invades our minds. It is forcing emotions into us." Karen gasped. She realized he was right. Daniel's glow was spreading, reaching out like invisible waves. But it was not pain. It was connection. The doctor raised his staff. "We must end this now, before it spreads to the entire ship." Karen acted without thinking. She stepped between Daniel and the doctor, her arms wide. "Stop. This is not infection. This is what makes humans different. This is what gives them strength." The doctor sneered. "Strength? Or corruption? Nurse, you are already lost." He turned to the guards. "Take her away. Kill the human before his poison reaches the fleet." 2 guards stepped forward, rifles raised. Karen's heart pounded. She had no weapon, no power to fight. All she had was her voice. She shouted, "Then why do you fear him so much? If he is weak, why are your hands shaking? If he is just flesh, why do your minds tremble with his memories?" The guards froze, their rifles quivering. Karen pressed on. "Because deep inside you feel it. He is not destroying you. He is showing you what it means to be human, and that frightens you more than death." The room was tense, filled with heavy silence. The doctor's eyes blazed with fury. "Foolish nurse, you do not understand. If humans can truly spread themselves through emotion and thought, then they are the most dangerous species the galaxy has ever known. We cannot let them live." Karen turned slowly, looking back at Daniel. His glow dimmed slightly, but his eyes met hers. He whispered, just for her, "Now you see. This is why they fear us. Not for weapons, not for war, but because we can change them, without touching a single blade." Her hands trembled. The truth was terrifying. He was right. Humans could reach into alien hearts, rewrite fear into courage, cold into warmth. The guards looked uncertain now, their weapons lowered, halfway. Doubt spread among them, but doubt itself was dangerous. The doctor lifted his staff high. "Then I will kill him myself." He strode forward, but before he could strike, the glow from Daniel's body surged once more. The wave of light burst outward, knocking the doctor back against the wall. His staff clattered to the ground. The guard staggered. Karen held her ground, staring at the human whose body now blazed like a star. Every alien in the ward felt the same thing at once: hope, fire, defiance. It filled them against their will, a tide impossible to resist. And in that moment, Karen understood. The galaxy did not fear the human body because it was weak. They feared it because it could not be controlled. War protocols. The ship trembled as silence fell again. The silver-robed doctor lay against the wall, stunned by the blast of light. The guard stared at Daniel with wide, fearful eyes. None dared fire now. Nurse Karen stood in front of the human's bed, her hearts racing. She knew the truth. This was no disease, no parasite. It was part of what made humans human, but truth was dangerous. And soon, the commanders would hear of it. The ward doors slid open with a hiss. A group of officers entered, their black armor shining with the mark of the Galactic Council. Their leader was taller than all the others, his face hidden behind a mask of steel. His voice was cold and final. "Activate war protocols." The words struck like thunder. The guards stiffened. Even the doctor lowered his head in fear. War protocols were only used when an entire species was judged too dangerous to exist. Karen's chest tightened, her voice cracked. "No! You cannot declare war protocols on one wounded soldier." The masked commander turned his head toward her. "Not one soldier. The entire human race." This display proves what the Council has always suspected. Humans are not allies. They are contagion. The words chilled the room. The insectoid nurses hiding in the shadows clicked nervously. The guards whispered to each other. A contagion. A threat to the galaxy itself. Karen shook her head violently. "You are wrong. What I saw was not corruption. It was connection. He showed us courage. He showed us memory." The commander's masked face leaned closer to her. "And that is exactly why humans must die. Connection is invasion. If their bodies can reach into alien minds and plant emotions, then they are the most powerful weapon the galaxy has ever known." Daniel stirred weakly on the bed. His voice was faint, but his words cut through the tension. "You fear what you cannot control." The commander's eyes flashed behind the mask. "No. I destroy what I cannot control." He raised his hand and the guards lifted their rifles again. Karen stepped in front of Daniel, trembling but unyielding. "Stop," she cried. "He is not a weapon. He is not an army. He is one man." The commander's voice was like ice. "One man is enough." Karen's thoughts raced. If they killed Daniel now, the secret would die with him. But if the Council spread war protocols, every human colony would be wiped out. Earth itself could burn. Her hands shook as she whispered, "Please, and give me time. Let me study him. If he is a danger, I will prove it. If not, then—" But the commander cut her off. "There is no time. War begins now." He touched his wrist console. A signal flashed across the ship, spreading to the fleet. Karen knew what it meant. Orders were being sent to every warship in orbit. Human settlements, human fleets, even medical outposts, all marked for destruction. Karen's body went cold. She looked at Daniel, barely conscious, his glow flickering like a dying star. "Can you hear?" she whispered desperately. "They will destroy your people." Daniel's eyes opened slowly. His voice was weak, but steady. "Then, I must awaken fully." Karen leaned closer. "What does that mean?" He gave her a faint smile. "You've only seen the beginning." The glow in his body pulsed again, brighter this time, spreading through his veins like rivers of fire. The scanners screamed with impossible numbers. The guards staggered as waves of heat rolled through the ward. The commander shouted, "Contain him, now!" But before the guards could act, Daniel's voice filled the air, strong and commanding. "Stop." Every alien froze. Not by choice. Their bodies refused to move. Their hearts pounded with foreign emotion. Memories crashed into their minds. Oceans of Earth, the laughter of children, the defiance of soldiers standing against impossible odds. Karen gasped as tears filled her eyes. She felt it too, the human spirit flooding through her veins. The commander trembled, his mask cracking under the pressure. This is war." "No," Daniel said firmly, his glow blazing. "This is humanity, and now you cannot unsee it." The glow burst outward, slamming into the ship itself. Lights flickered across the corridors. Alarms screamed in every sector. The fleet beyond the windows shuddered as their systems reacted to the wave. Karen held onto the bed, her body shaking under the weight of human emotion. She could feel every heartbeat on the ship. Fear, confusion, awe. Daniel was not just one man anymore. He was a beacon. The commander fell to his knees, his mask shattering, his eyes wide with terror. If this spreads, the galaxy will burn. Daniel's voice dropped, quiet but unbreakable. No. If this spreads, the galaxy will change. Karen's heart thundered in her chest. She looked at the human soldier, glowing like a star, against the darkness. She realized the truth the commanders feared most. Humanity's greatest weapon was not war. It was the ability to make others feel. And now, the galaxy had felt it. Awakening the power, the medical ward shook as if caught in a storm. Alarms screamed, walls flickered with failing power, and the floor trembled under invisible waves. At the center of it all lay Daniel, the wounded human, glowing brighter than any star Karen had ever seen. She shielded her eyes, but the light was not just outside. It was inside her mind. Memories not her own poured into her. A boy running. Through tall green grass, a woman singing softly to a baby. Soldiers shouting to each other while holding the line against impossible odds. Karen gasped. I am feeling what he has felt. The guards around her collapsed to their knees, weapons forgotten. Their insectoid claws shook. One muttered in panic. These are not my memories. Why am I crying? The silver-robed doctor clutched his head, his eyes wide with horror. It spreads. His body spreads thought itself. But Karen saw something different. The guards' fear was melting into awe. Their hearts, once hard as iron, now beat with strange warmth. Daniel's voice filled the room. Not shouted, not forced. Calm, steady, strong. This is not weapon. This is human. His glow surged again. The wave shot through the walls, into the halls of the ship. Across the decks, alien officers froze mid-command. Pilots in cockpits, engineers in the engine core, medics in other wards. Every one of them felt it, and what they felt was humanity. 100 images rushed through their minds. Fire crackling in a small village, children clutching old toys, hands gripping each other in the dark, voices whispering, "We survive together." For the first time, the aliens tasted human courage. Karen staggered, holding the bed. Tears slid down her face. Her species never wept, but now she could not stop. The commander tore off what remained of his steel mask, gasping like a drowning man. "Stop this. Stop it now. You are corrupting the fleet." Daniel turned his eyes toward him. They burned, like twin suns. "No. I am showing you what it means to be alive." The commander tried to lift his weapon, but his arms shook, heavy with alien memories not his own. He dropped the rifle, choking in rage. You are rewriting us." Karen's heart leapt at the words. Yes, that was it. Daniel was not destroying. He was rewriting, not through violence but through feeling. The doctor screamed, "Do you not see? This is worse than war. If one human can do this, then imagine 1,000. 1,000,000. They will not conquer planets with weapons. They will conquer with their bodies." Fear rippled through the guards again, but so did wonder. One of them whispered, "If this is corruption, then why does it feel like hope?" The glow spread further, reaching beyond the ship. Through the windows of the ward, Karen saw the fleet outside tremble. Great battleships of iron and fire floated in silence, but inside, their crews were no longer the same. Every alien touched by the wave now carried pieces of humanity inside them. Karen's eyes widened. The entire fleet is awakening. Daniel groaned, his body trembling. Sweat glistened on his face. He looked fragile yet unstoppable. Karen leaned closer. "You cannot hold this for long. Your body will break." His lips curled in a faint smile. "Maybe. But even if I die, the connection remains. They have seen. They cannot unsee. The commander roared in defiance, his voice shaking. We will destroy your world. We will erase your people before this infection spreads to the galaxy. Daniel's glow flared. His words thundered through every alien mind at once. You cannot erase what is already inside you. Karen felt her body tremble. She saw flashes of Earth again. Oceans roaring, forests endless, cities glowing at night. Then she saw something deeper. The will of humanity to endure, to adapt, to rise after every fall. The aliens cried out as visions filled their minds. A soldier crawling through mud, refusing to give up. A mother holding her dying child but whispering hope. A man standing alone against a storm and shouting into the wind, I will not break. The weight of it crushed them, but also lifted them. For the first time they felt human strength not as violence but as survival. Karen whispered, shaking. So this is why they fear you. Not because you kill, but because you make others want to live. Daniel's glow finally began to fade, his strength draining. He collapsed back against the bed, breathing hard. The ward was silent again, but it was not the same silence as before. The guards no longer aimed their weapons. Their eyes shone with conflict, fear mixed with admiration. The commander stood, pale and trembling. His voice was weak, broken. If the council learns of this, if they feel what we have felt, they will unleash war beyond anything you can imagine. Karen looked at Daniel, faint but alive. Then she turned to the commander, her voice firm. Then the council must never know. Not yet. Not until we are ready. The commander glared at her, but he said nothing. Deep inside, even he had felt it, the fire of humanity burning in his own chest. Karen placed her hand gently on Daniel's arm. Rest now. You have awakened something in them, and in me. Her black eyes hardened. She realized she was no longer just a nurse. She was now the keeper of a secret that could either save the galaxy or set it on fire. The ship drifted in silence. Outside the windows, the massive fleet floated like shadows against the stars. But inside each vessel, nothing was the same. Every alien aboard had felt the human's glow, his memories, his emotions, his defiance. In the ward, Daniel lay weak, but alive. The light inside his body had dimmed, but it had already spread. The ripple of humanity now lived inside every alien who had touched the wave. Karen stood beside him, her hands trembling. She had witnessed the impossible. She had watched an entire fleet bend beneath the weight of one human spirit. The commander stood nearby, pale, shaken, his mask broken on the floor. His voice cracked when he spoke. This is how your kind will conquer, not with ships, not with weapons, but with this curse. Daniel coughed softly, opening his tired eyes. His voice was faint but steady. It is not a curse. It is what we are. We do not invade with fire. We survive by sharing what burns inside us. The silver-robed doctor hissed in anger. Sharing? No. This is contamination. You planted yourselves in our minds. You forced us to feel your history, your pain, your hope. That is not medicine. That is violation. Karen looked at him sharply. And yet you cannot deny it. You feel stronger now, do you not? You felt their courage, their will. It is in you. You cannot cut it out. The doctor trembled, unable to answer. The commander's eyes narrowed. Even if I cannot cut it out, the council will. They will burn Earth to ash before your kind can spread further. Karen's heart pounded. She knew he was right. The council would see humanity not as allies, not as equals, but as infection, and they would unleash extermination. Daniel turned his head slightly toward her. His lips curled in a faint, tired smile. Then we must show them the truth before they destroy us, Karen whispered back. How? The council fears you already. If they feel what I felt, they may panic and strike faster. Daniel's eyes closed. Or they may finally understand. A deep silence fell. The choice was unbearable. Keep the secret and let humanity live in shadows, or reveal it and risk total war. The commander stepped forward, his voice like steel. You cannot win. Even if one fleet bends, the galaxy is vast. Entire empires will rise against you. Daniel's weak laugh filled the room. Empires fall, but ideas, they spread forever. The glow inside him pulsed faintly again, like an ember refusing to die. Karen felt tears on her face. She had never believed in destiny, but now she wondered if this human had been placed in her ward for a reason. Not to heal, but to awaken. She turned to the guards. Their weapons hung loosely in their claws, their eyes full of conflict. She spoke clearly, her voice trembling but firm. You all felt it. You know now what humans carry. You can either tell the council and start a war that will kill billions, or you can protect the secret and let it grow until the galaxy is ready to accept it. The guards exchanged uneasy looks. None spoke, but none raised their weapons again. The commander's face twisted in rage. You would betray your duty? He would hide this from the council? Karen's black eyes locked on his. I would protect life, that is my duty. For a long moment, the commander said nothing. Then slowly he lowered his head. If this secret spreads uncontrolled, it will break the galaxy apart. But if it is contained, perhaps there is still a chance. He looked at Daniel, his voice cold but uncertain. One human against the galaxy. And somehow the galaxy trembled. That is why I fear you. Daniel's glow dimmed completely now. He exhaled a long breath, his strength spent. His final words before sleep were quiet, but they carried through the hearts of everyone present. Fear us if you must, but never forget what you felt. Humanity does not die when one man falls. Humanity lives inside those who remember. The ward was silent. The commander turned away, his voice bitter. This will be buried, for now. But the day will come when the galaxy learns the truth, and on that day no one will remain the same. Karen placed her hand gently on Daniel's chest, feeling the faint beat of his heart. She whispered more to herself than anyone else. Yes, no one will remain the same. Outside the window, the fleet hung still, every ship carrying pieces of Earth inside them now, memories, courage, fire. The galaxy was vast, but a single human had planted a seed within it, and seeds, once planted, always grow.